Hello, my dream bees, and welcome back to Vlogmas. We are getting so close to the end of our 24 days of yoga, and I'm so happy that we got to do this adventure together. Let's do our KAPHA dosha. Let's talk about what is the KAPHA dosha body type, what are my key tips into finding balance, and how does it affect your digestion? Let's get right into it. Kapha is a combination of the elements of water and earth. Water and earth, when you combine them, you start to feel this sense of life. Knowing that our earth is made up of life, it is what brings us into this world. We are starting from the ground up, having that sense of stability and anchoring. It can be weird to think about when your body is made up of this real powerful earth element. You have stability. You have a physical structure that is very strong. And this also goes into the mind. You will have a mental structure that is very concrete, very strong. Now, what does this mean for people that have a Kapha body type or a dominant Kapha energy? Well, if you have too much of this earth element guiding you, then maybe that strength and that power sometimes becomes stuck. Maybe you feel that sense of heaviness physically and mentally, and sometimes that heaviness can be too much, a bit fuzzy and cloudy, because all of that energy is deeper, maybe into the root chakra and into the ground. We're missing that energy that is up into the head. Maybe you have a hard time thinking, a hard time making decisions, moving quickly, because you are so grounded. It can be hard to connect with that sense of light and creativity. Because where there is earth and where there is heaviness, there is also a sense of darkness or clouding. And these qualities are used for good qualities and bad qualities. That is when your body goes in and out of balance. When you are in balance, this Kapha energy is warm and loving. Because the earth is physical, it can carry so much. Maybe you're very generous with your friends and family. Maybe you feel secure and you spread this security and safety to others. You make them feel very good. This is a comforting energy. And similar to that water energy, there's a sense of a love. I want you to know that Kapha energy is very loving and generous. So my key tips into keeping this Kapha energy in balance. Number one is to keep moving. It's good to be grounded, but when you feel that heaviness is taking over, let's get moving. Let's start to feel in control. Maybe you have an exercise practice that you can keep in your routine. Maybe yoga morning and night. Maybe it's just going for a nice walk, connecting with the earth, and just going to the forest, going to the park. We want to make sure that there is a sense of vitality constantly moving, as opposed to a sense of stability that is just preventing us from doing all the things we want to do. My second tip is to be very kind with yourself. We are so focused sometimes on being kind to each other, on bringing our energy outwards. But Kapha is naturally very good at being generous and kind. And sometimes when they feel stuck, or when that Kapha energy is heavy, it's very hard to be kind to ourselves. So if there is a day that you're feeling lazy or unmotivated, or maybe just too slow, don't beat yourself up over it. Just know that maybe you've just been out of balance. Maybe you need a new rhythm to motivate you. Maybe you just need inspiration. I hope that you can be kind to yourself and send so much love inwards because you're so used to sending that love out. And that way, if you're just having a bad day, you send yourself so much love that it'll pass and you'll be ready to get moving the next day. My third key tip for that dominant kapha is to focus on keeping that digestion at optimal health. We know that our digestion is a powerful force in the body, but it really affects the mind, especially for kapha. If our energy is too slow and too heavy, it's going to make our digestion too slow and too heavy. We might get constipated often. We might feel blocked, like certain things are just not being digested. We're going to get that same effect in the mind. We might feel so blocked because our gut health is blocked. We're having a hard time eliminating toxins, so you might have a hard time eliminating thoughts from the mind. So I want you to keep that digestion very, very healthy, so that way you always feel your best. Let's keep talking about our digestive system. Like I said, if we're feeling that our routine has been too slow, that our energy is too heavy, we're feeling stuck, maybe a little bit dark, that digestion is going to be feeling all of those qualities. So we have to focus on eating foods that are a little bit lighter, maybe a bit more dry. We already have a lot of water in the system. Let's make foods that are lighter and drier. Maybe eating meals that are a little bit smaller. Foods that are warm to activate that fire, because sometimes the earth can be a little bit cold. So we're going for that opposition. When you're feeling dark, heavy, wet, and cold, let's eat foods that are light, dry, warm. We can also focus on foods that are very pungent in taste, astringent in taste, and bitter. These are not the foods that we normally go to, especially for a kapha. We love to eat a lot of food. We love generous quantities. Maybe we have a sweet tooth. If you're a kapha, try to eat less sweet foods, less salty, and less sour. So I know this is not very easy, but we gotta find that balance. Once you start changing your dietary habits, you will see immediate results. Especially for a kapha, if you're so used to having a blocked digestion or constantly having constipation. If you start eating less foods that are not so sweet, less salty, less sour, and go towards that bitter, pungent, astringent, good quality foods, that will completely reharmonize your gut health. That will get things moving again. That'll warm up your digestive fire. We can add more spices now to our foods, like ginger, turmeric. These are heating foods to make sure that our belly is going. Add more coriander and cumin. We can drink teas, but maybe in smaller amounts. If we already have a lot of water in our body, we don't need to add too much water, but sipping little amounts of tea can really get that digestion going. And maybe after your meal, having a little espresso, that bitter taste alone can really calm the tummy and get that food ready to go. So I hope this helps. I hope this brings some clarity. And if you're curious for more, please comment down below any other Ayurvedic questions or tips that you would like to know. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you with our last Vlogmas video.